The idea of the redundancy principle is that the audience will better understand information being presented when it is presented as a narration without on-screen text or reciting the on-screen text verbatim. Eliminating redundancy makes it easier for the audience to learn as it allows them to focus. For example, one would violate the redundancy principle if they presented this slide as so. Betty Mae Page was an American model. She rose to fame in the 1950s for her pinup photos. She has been referred to as the Queen of Pinups. Her jet black hair, blue eyes, and trademark bangs have influenced artists for generations. So that you don't violate the redundancy principle, what you would want to do on here is you don't want to read the text when you're doing your narration. That's exactly the same as in your slide. That's going to pull the focus away from the audience. I will now show you an example of a good use of the redundancy principle. This is an example of good use of the redundancy principle. Betty Mae Page was an American model. She rose to fame in the 1950s for her pinup photos. She's been referred to as the Queen of Pinups. Her jet black hair, blue eyes, and trademark bangs have influenced artists for generations. This example is better because since the slide only has the words Betty Page on there, the audience can focus on the narration. And this is better because if there's the text on screen, they might be attracted by the printed words and not pay as much attention. They may experience cognitive overload, or they may compare different formats. So it's a lot easier to hold the audience's attention when you simplify the slide. There are some special situations when you can violate the redundancy principle. Some examples are when there's an absence of on-screen pictorial information, when there is enough time for the audience to process the pictorial presentation, and sometimes if the audio may be difficult for audience to understand, for example, a foreign language, as in this example. Betty Page es una mujer muy bonita. Fue un modelo después de la Segunda Guerra Mundial. Tiene muchos fanáticos. That's something that it's going to be hard for a non-Spanish speaker to understand, so it's helpful to have the text on screen. And it would also be okay to violate the principle if you were in a situation with auditory learning disabilities. So yeah, that is the redundancy principle.